Hey, how's everybody doing today? Another fantastic day of games yesterday. Did we do all right yesterday? I think we
I
did.
got murdered. I got absolutely murdered. I talked the guy off the over 3.5. There was an under game in that Norway Serbia, but God was I wrong, man. Serbia killed them 2-0. Holland didn't score. Portugal lost 1-0 to Spain in what was a pathetic showing on their part. They got like
You know
absolutely.
what? They deserve not to go through because they didn't even try to play, man.
No, they were awful. They had a full lineup out and they couldn't even touch the ball. It was like they couldn't get the ball. It was
Yep.
terrible. The worst thing I've ever seen. They deserve. You're right. When I see teams play like that, you don't deserve to go through. You know, Spain, maybe they threw their Switzerland match and looked ahead to Portugal because they probably said to themselves, "If we beat Portugal, we're through regardless." But yeah, honestly, my only win yesterday was Kosovo
Oh, the
-1.
Netherlands. They're playing that in the Netherlands next year. I thought maybe they would have played it in Spain. How about that? All right.
The
Interesting.
Netherlands is a nice place.
Amsterdam, when is that? June 14th to 18th. Let's see where they're going to play this.
Did you see that Iceland match?
No.
Iceland.
I was watching the highlights last night. Fox has that like highlight thing on, so it's interesting.
Man, Iceland tied in Albania 1-1, and they played 60 minutes of that match with a red card.
Oh yeah, that's right. They scored in like the 90 something. They scored with like in the 90th minute or something like that.
Down a man, like unbelievable from Iceland on the road.
It was 90 plus 6. That's what it was. They scored 90 plus 6. Like, come on, man. Like, all you got to do is defend one more second. It was literally the last kick of the match, too. I was watching the highlights and I was like, man. And then what was the other game?
Ireland.
Ireland, Armenia. They got
up 2-0
in the same play, and then they gave up. Then they gave up a goal on the. He called the penalty, which was terrible. But whatever. I mean, I guess it didn't really matter and I was stunned. Ukraine, Scotland. How about if you're watching in England right now? You're in Group B. Wales, you're in Group B. Ireland, you're in Group B. And the jewel of the home nations, Northern Ireland, Scotland will be in Group A next year, competing while you guys are playing against bums. So
I can't believe that, man. I thought the Ukraine didn't play bad. I thought Ukraine should have won that one. They got their chances, but then again, Scotland had some good chances too. They played a good one.
It's just one of those. Ukraine is just one of these teams. I mean, I've seen them so much over the playoffs and everything else, and they just like. I mean, they whenever they needed to score a big goal, they just couldn't do it. I just didn't have a lot of confidence in them.
And Switzerland did win. I did give that out as a free play. I did mention that on the show. So that was probably like the best play on the board.
Kosovo, didn't we say Kosovo?
Yeah, too? Kosovo. I had -1 on them, and they smashed Cyprus. That was one where I should have just taken like -3.5 or something stupid. I knew Cyprus. They're not a good team on the road. They're not a good team at all.
So there's games Friday. Basically, look, there's nothing today. We're just going to look through just very quickly some of the games we think, might be interesting during the week. Friday, maybe Saturday. Angers plays Marseille on Friday. Bayern Munich plays Bayer Leverkusen. Sporting and Porto both play. Porto plays Braga, which it should be a decent game. These games playing. So these teams playing here, these leagues are they like their teams to do well in the Champions League, and they move the games to help them out. So Angers, Marseille, I think is interesting on Friday.
I'm surprised they're playing matches on Friday. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess they have today and tomorrow to travel back, but like,
yeah, for most of it, yeah, and then like, most of these teams, Porto right here, Porto minus 143 against Braga. I feel like Braga's doing really well in that league.
they are.
They're ahead of Porto. Braga hasn't lost yet, and they have a crazy goal difference. 23 goals scored, 5 allowed.
Yeah, they're crushing teams this year, which is surprising because they've always been such a defensive powerhouse and always struggled to score goals. And now this year, it's like just going off.
Braga draw is plus 112. That could be interesting.
Yeah, no, I definitely think if Porto winning this match is not a slam dunk by any means.
Yeah, I think that's, when these teams are pretty even when you watch them play. I mean, when you start to talk about these, when you can get good teams, this Braga team is good. When you start to get good teams at, this price for 2 of the 3 outcomes, immediately I might have to take a look at that. And then, plus 350 to win the actual match. And that's kind of crazy right there.
The other thing you got to think of is, Porto's got to play Leverkusen in Champions League right after this. They play on the 4th, which is
Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
Because Benfica plays Wednesday.
Yeah, and Braga, they play Europa League, but they're also at home against a USG team. That's probably a much easier matchup for them than Porto, who's in Champions League against the Leverkusen.
Yeah, that's interesting. Braga gets a whole week basically before they have to play that. So that's a huge advantage for Braga. And then see the table.
Yeah, because Braga plays the 6th. They play on the Thursday, I guess, because it's
your it's the late game Thursday. They play at 3.
Big rest advantage there.
Malmo and Union Berlin play the early match. So, and Braga and USG are the teams with 6 points here. So basically, Braga, if they can win this match, and then the Union Berlin and Malmo ends up in a draw, Braga's basically already through. So that's a huge game for Braga next week. But
you just got to make sure they don't give it back in the fourth match day.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, today there's Turkish Cup matches. Tomorrow there's Turkish Cup matches.
These are so bad teams though. Like I was looking at some of them, and there's not even like Super League teams in there. It's all like 3rd and 4th league.
Do not bet those games. And then just like Saturday, just wanted to take kind of a quick look at Saturday. Like we'll give you these games. We'll give you some picks on Friday, obviously, but today there's nothing going on. So just wanted to take a look through and see if there's any games. Sevilla plays Atletico Madrid on Saturday. That's I guess the main game. Barcelona's playing at Mallorca.
How many goals do you think get scored in that Sevilla Atletico match?
-2.
Like, can you bet -2? Because I would take it at that point. You get 2 teams that just don't score goals.
Yeah, it's just so bad. Barcelona at -1.5 at +102 is interesting against Mallorca.
You know what I would actually like to see? I would like to see Atletico Madrid play the Wolves.
Oh my God. That would be so bad.
Imagine watching. That's like a punishment. When somebody does something wrong, you tell them, you go watch all 90 minutes of that game.
Man, we used to – there was I forget when it was, what year it was. It was like maybe 2017 or 2018. Manchester United had to play Wolves 3 times in like 14 days. They played them in the FA Cup, and it was a draw, so they had to replay the game.
0-0.
They played them in the league. Oh, I think that I'm trying to think.
And was that when they had Jota too? So they actually had like a somewhat scorer at least.
It was like See if I can find this.
Like now they have nobody. Like I guess they have what is it, Jimenez, but like he's not gonna get the job done.
It was like it was around here. No, that wasn't it because they I don't see it. They played them, and it was like the first game was like 0-0. I think the league game was maybe like 0-0. And I know we won the cup game 1-0. Like, but it was like, oh my God. It was like I hate playing that team. Like it was terrible. Like you talk about Tuchel, Tuchel ball there, like terrible. I mean, that was just like anti-football, man. It was just so hard. And like, they would just set up, and then you knew like if you give up a goal, man, the game's over. Like you're like, man, you can't give up a goal in this game. And no games today, really. Only Boca Juniors in the cup. He's betting. Says AB. I don't even know what that is, man. I know
there are some Brazilian, but like I don't know. There's an Atletico Mineiro versus Palmeiras match.
Santos won that last night, 1-0, right? Did they finish that game 1-0?
Oh yeah, the Santa was it Santa? I think it was
2-0. Santos beat PR 2-0. They scored really late. Then they scored 90+2. Like I was watching it and I kind of like stopped watching it, but they did. They scored 90+2. So, yeah, man. I'm just gonna. I'm not worried about these. I don't really like the what's the NFL game tomorrow night?
Oh, it's the Dolphins and the Bengals.
It's a great game. I don't really, the Dolphins, I would probably bet the Dolphins at +4, but I don't know. I mean, I'll probably watch it. I'm actually off like today. This is my last week of SAT tutoring for like the seniors because it's, this is the October 1st test. So they could take it in November, but then it starts to get into like where you're getting tight with your application. So this is basically it. So I'll lose like most of my tour, which is fine with me. It's like
I need a break.
I can't be working till 11 o'clock I can't start work at 6 a.m. and work till 11 o'clock every night.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to get a chance to get home and watch that. So I'll probably I can't bet these games. Like I like to bet them, but I can't, if I miss the first half of the game because I'm tutoring or something like that, then you come in, you're like, you already missed the stuff. I like to be sat down and say, like, see how the game's going and then kind of put some bets in and stuff like that. So I'll probably get a chance. I might watch a couple of the college games too. I think,
I don't think there's any on Thursday, but there's like a ton on Friday.
BYU game. I thought they were going to move some of these games. They moved the Florida game to Sunday.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought maybe they could move it up. But this storm is like so crazy. I mean, it's just moving so slowly. My buddy just flew home. I mean, that thing is, look at that storm. Look at that eye, man. That is
massive.
Oh, it's so crazy.
We have one up here too. We have Fiona.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, right.
Nova Scotia. It's destroyed like Nova Scotia and Newfoundland right now.
Yeah, right here.
Absolutely, totally different hurricane too. It just absolutely destroyed it.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, look, this is just like, I'm in the Weather Channel fan club. I kind of hate this night. I mean, you don't like to see anybody die and stuff, but this is just like, that is ridiculous, man. That eye is as big as Lake Okeechobee. I mean, this is just it's going to hit with like a category 5. It's just like wherever it hits is just going to absolutely demolish.
Oh yeah.
But it's so slow moving that this is just like, my buddy's in Sarasota right here. And it's just like, it's crazy. They're just getting like, it's just going to get hit by this stuff for 2 days. It's just going to get, they're talking about 24 inches of rain. So, I thought maybe they would move that game to to Friday, but I guess it's too soon. So Sunday it should be cleared out. But yeah, there's some decent games.
I know the Bucks have evacuated their area already too. So
yeah, yo.
Few of these teams aren't going to be playing at home this weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Washington, UCLA, and once again, I think that's 10:30 Friday. I'll probably be asleep, but actually, I'll be coming back from a football game. Maybe I'll get a chance to watch that. But yeah, so that's that. I mean, just with these soccer games on Saturday, I'm excited to watch this Arsenal Tottenham.
I'll be up early for that one.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. We have the Premier League. I forget what it's called. When they have like they're coming to Philadelphia on October 15th and 16th. So like we may end up going to that.
The All-Star game?
No, it's like the Fan Fest. So they're doing this Fan Fest. So it should be pretty cool. I don't know. I don't, I have a ticket, but like I don't really want to watch.
I'm sure.
I don't really like hanging out with people, to be honest. Washington money line, Air Force under 37, Mississippi State money line, Wisconsin under 44. My college picks. All right.
I mean, I like that Washington. I grabbed them at 2.5. Now it's 3.5. I think Washington probably wins that one. And the Air Force under, I agree with too, because two military teams, they're both just gonna pound the ball all day, and it's just gonna eat clock. Teams aren't gonna score a lot on each other.
Yeah, and just there's some Arsenal Tottenham. Tottenham is pretty decent value if you like Tottenham in that game.
That Crystal Palace one catches my eye. Are you going to trust Chelsea on the road, knowing they have a Champions League match coming up? I don't know where they are, but yeah, this is the match where, based on their last two performances, they could be out of the group right here. They play Milan. They play Milan. My God, talk about
at home.
Talk about having a sweaty shower. Jesus.
Yeah, that's interesting.
90 minutes of sweat if you want to watch that one.
This. To me, I mean, these games right away. I think Fulham is interesting because Newcastle doesn't score a lot of goals and Fulham does.
I'm almost looking at the Fulham double chance because of that point, the fact that Fulham scores goals and Newcastle doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, if Fulham's can score 2 goals in the game, you think they win the game. I mean, I don't know if Newcastle can score 2 goals in the game. I mean, I know Newcastle will get healthy at some point, and they'll bring some players in and stuff like that. But
like the only game they really looked good in was against Manchester City. They scored 3 goals in the first half, and they were dominating them. It was like they got up for that match, but they just haven't got up for these other teams. Even when they played Liverpool, they did not play great. Then they got scored on in like the 98th minute to lose.
Does the new Brighton manager have enough time to work on a game plan versus Liverpool? I think, I think so. I also think, the interim coach maybe was working a little bit before because Potter left. I don't know when he left. I think they had the interim coach last match before the break. So I think so. I'll be honest with you, AB here, Brighton or draw at plus 230. Brighton, here's the table. I'll pull the table up for you instead of this.
My problem with that game is I would never touch Liverpool minus 1.5. You couldn't give me your money to go place that bet because it's not happening. Liverpool is not a good team in my opinion.
And Brighton's been good. But, you take away Liverpool's goal difference right now is plus 9, and that's from one game.
A 9-0 win over Bournemouth.
The other 5 games, they're 1 win, 3 draws, 1 loss. So I don't know, man. Liverpool should win. But I just don't know. This Brighton team. Graham Potter's a good coach, but it's the players, man. They're
And that's the other thing. That's why it's a stay off for me because Liverpool, you can't trust them. You cannot take the -1.5. I think they win this one because they're kind of turning things around and they're going to have to start moving it because right now they're not even in the title race. You got 3 giants up there who are dominating between Arsenal, City, and Tottenham. And like you even look at Brighton and Man United, they're coming up the wings too. So Liverpool's got to compete with teams that are not losing matches right now or even drawing really that much. So that's one, but I can't bet on Brighton because I don't know what they're going to be without their new man or with their new manager. And it's one, like, as you said, they have the players. So I'm not going to just blindly, new manager, Liverpool's got to wake up, Liverpool -1.5, because the players are good on this Brighton squad and they might put up a good damn challenge themselves without and never mind the manager. They might just go out there and play a good match because they're a very good defensive team like that. And they could say, let's hold them to a draw.
There's some other games I would bet before that, I think. To be honest.
That one's got a big X on my card. I'm not even going anywhere.
Yeah, I might take a chance on Bournemouth at home because, once again, Bournemouth, if you take out the 9-0 defeat, I mean, they haven't been terrible. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, and plus -4 goal difference.
That defense is tightening up lately.
Yeah, Brentford's right above them. I mean, 9 points. Bournemouth is on 8 points. To me, I don't know if Brentford should be +115 in this game. This would be a play where I'd say, you know what, I can get Bournemouth and draw at -139. Like I just. I don't know. I maybe take a shot on Bournemouth to win. Like I wouldn't put them in a parlay or anything, but maybe I'd put them in a parlay with Palace or something like this.
I think you're seeing that because just like Fulham, Brentford scores goals, right?
Yeah.
But they don't play as great on the road, which makes me weary in this spot. Like if they were at home, I would say absolutely take the +115 with Brentford, but I don't know, man. Bournemouth's been tightening up the defense ever since I told you they aren't as bad as they seem because even before that 9-0 loss to Liverpool, they lost 4-0 to Man City or one of the Manchesters, and they lost 3-0 to Tottenham. Like you just played 3 of the best teams in the Premier League and got your doors blown off. Welcome to the Premier League. You just came up. You can't expect them to put up. I mean, Fulham ended up drawing with Liverpool, but Liverpool is a different story. But yeah, you can't fault Bournemouth for that. They fired their manager because of it. The defense has looked a lot better. They kept the Wolves, who don't score goals, to a draw, though. They didn't lose that one, so that was encouraging. And it's one where their defense is better. I don't know how Brentford's going to play on the road. I do like that Bournemouth play.
Yeah, and it's once again, I'm not throwing $100 on it, but I think it's interesting. Southampton, Everton, I don't think I'd touch. Maybe side with Everton. The 12:30 match here is West Ham and Wolves.
Under 0.5.
I will be out of the game, so I don't have to watch that crap. City United on Sunday, Leeds and
what's the odds on neither team to score in West Ham Wolves? Because West Ham has lost 5 Premier League matches, and they have a Conference League match on Thursday, but they haven't even been focused on the Premier League. They're not scoring goals, and we know the Wolves are just going to go in there and try to play keep away. They don't even play real football. So yeah, I think what's neither team to score on that one?
Under 0.5 goals for both teams at parlays +900.
Okay, not bad. That's something I would put $10 on. See if we can get a 0-0 draw out of that. I would even look at Wolves on the double chance. They're +300, and that's ridiculous considering West Ham has lost 5 of their 7 matches, and the Wolves don't allow goals. So, where is this? How are they going to lose this match against a team that's not fully focused on the league yet?
Yeah, AB just mentioned how Bournemouth hasn't lost since they fired their manager. Look, I'm telling you, this is going to be. Everyone just thinks they're automatically going straight back down. I'm not sure about that. There's some bad teams in this league. Leicester stinks, man.
They're done, man. Leicester, you're going to see everybody jump ship. that team is done. They're gonna have nobody come.
And they're favored
January
against
transfer
Nottingham
window.
Forest. Yeah, listen, I mean, Leicester, it's not just, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like they are gonna, like, their financial fair play, they're done. Like they lost so much money over the last 3 years. The only reason they didn't get hit with financial fair play charges is because of the pandemic. They're in a ton of trouble, and they're going to sell players. The morale sucks.
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers doesn't want to be there. They're not spending any more money. Like, I can't even believe he's still there. No one wants the job. That's probably
5 straight losses.
Well, the problem is too, like, if they sack him, they got to pay him, and he wants to go because he doesn't want to be there at this point. So, I mean, it's really bad.
Like, look at this. 7 matches, they've scored 10 goals and allowed 22. That is the most in the Premier League. The next team, the team to allow the second most goals would be Brentford at 12. So Bournemouth at 19, but that was because of the 9-0. But other than Bournemouth, because they've kind of like fixed their situation with the manager, if you just take Bournemouth out, the next team is 12 goals compared to the 22 that Leicester has allowed. That's ridiculous.
Leicester released update on Financial City and Financial Fair Play, have escaped sanctions, but warned they will be monitored closely. Manchester City, Chelsea, and West Ham were the other ones.
West Ham's another team, man. They go 1-5 to start the season.
I think
they're playing well in Conference League.
I'm telling you, these teams with these money issues right now it's all of a sudden they're struggling. You're like, man, what's going on? Like, I mean, how could you take, like, I just don't know how you could bet Leicester City at -139 against Nottingham Forest. Like, I
would take Nottingham.
Great, but what the hell? You get Nottingham Forest, draw and win. Hey, Jim Bob, how you doing? Quick show today, by the way. We're just about done. We're just kind of going through some stuff, so not much going on today. So, yeah, definitely. So, I got a chance there. So, anyway.
Sorry, is that Man City to score 5 against Man United? Like Man City themselves to score 5?
Let me tell you something. Look, you know who my team is. When Pep has this long to think about stuff, it doesn't end well. He's going to overthink it. And we have the player of the month, Marcus Rashford. They're right. Yeah, look, I mean, they could, but when you look at this,
look, I'll be the non-biased voice since Man United's your team. Man City has destroyed them in the last few head-to-head matches.
Last year, both games.
I don't think Man City wins this game by 2 goals.
The year before, in 20, they beat Manchester United, won 2-0. United won in the Premier League 2-0. I was at the games the year before when they won 2-1.
Like, I think Man City is going to have some issues in this game.
They got a lot of guys on international. So does Manchester United, but yeah. Look, Varane didn't play for France. A lot. They have a lot of guys that are rested. I don't know. Maybe they could, but I don't. Hopefully it's 6-5 if that's the case, Manchester United. But
yeah, that's one where, like, I don't know how confident. I know Haaland. I totally agree. Haaland's he's going to have the taste of losing in his mouth from both of those Norway matches. And
we got Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro Martinez shut him down when he was at Ajax, and Haaland was at Dortmund. So,
and this is my point: is I kind of think I would take the 1.5 with United. And I'm not a United fan. Sorry, Sean. I don't like United.
Yeah.
I really don't like United. But I don't think
you either like them or you hate them.
I don't think City destroys them here. I don't think this is a smash the City spot. Like I would take City maybe if it was at minus 106, but not at minus 300. Absolutely not, because Man United's actually playing well now. And if you look at their lineup, it's damn good. It's a damn good lineup. Like Haaland
plus minus 200. Oh,
Haaland is going to be mad.
So is Ronaldo.
But that's what I mean. Like, do you think Ronaldo wants to get smashed 5-0? Like, it's not going to happen. He just lost to Spain yesterday, too. So that was not a fun one for him. A match they didn't even show up.
That's right. All right. So, listen, we're going to go more in depth about these games next on Friday. So, we just kind of wanted to come on and talk about something because there's nothing to talk about. So, we'll be back on Friday, and we'll have a full show for you to go through there. So if you're there, make sure you're ready to go.
Make sure you save your money the next 3 days and get ready for the weekend because we got Champions League, we got Premier League, you name it.
That's right. Lots of stuff.
Can't be blowing it on Brazil League tonight.
Yeah, do not bet these games tonight. Okay. All right, so we will see you on Friday, and we'll go through all these leagues. So thanks for watching.